Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, find out why area high school students stepped into the shoes of foreign diplomats. But first, the R.E. Lee building's progress has hit a roadblock. Learn why one small piece of property downtown has stalled the project. And later, we'll tell you what's cooking at Dabney S. Lancaster Community College. All this and more on the Rockbridge Report. Good afternoon and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Caroline Helms.
And I'm Victoria Taylor. The Rockbridge County School Board wants to give raises to all of the school system's employees the next fiscal year. Employees have not received a raise increase in more than 2.5 years, and the board has made it one of its top priorities.
Our employees have been more than patient over the last 2.5 years in carrying on their responsibilities in such a professional manner.
The school board also plans to allot money to cover increased transportation costs and the rising rates of employee health insurance. The budget is currently over by $175,000, and the board will discuss how to make up for the difference at a work session on Monday.
Last week, the Virginia Department of Education allocated Rockbridge County $7.5 million in federally subsidized zero-interest loans. The county will use the money to renovate either Maury River Middle School or Rockbridge County Middle School, depending on the county's decision regarding the future consolidation of the two schools. The $7.5 million is only half of the $15 million Superintendent John Reynolds applied for. For more than 1.5 years, the City Council and developer Ugo Benincasa have been working on a financial incentive plan to assist Benincasa in the purchase of the R.E. Lee building. Rockbridge reporter Tyler Tokarczyk has more on why the details of the plans are still under negotiation.
The City of Lexington and developer Ugo Benincasa orally agreed on a financial incentive plan for the R.E. Lee building that included Benincasa purchasing the parking lot behind the building from Rockbridge County. When the county sold the property to Lexington instead, the dynamics of the deal changed, and Lexington now hopes to retain some ownership of the parking spaces.
I believe that the lease arrangement that we have proposed as a counter to that recognizes the difficult position that Ugo has placed the City of Lexington in.
Benincasa viewed the sale of the parking lot to Lexington differently.
The reason why the city's got it was for this purpose, to hand it over to me, of course paying them, but hand it over to me. Now all at once they think they got some kind of golden eggs there, you know what I mean, that they can manipulate things around. So.
At their last meeting, City Council members decided to send City Manager John Elistad back into negotiations with Benincasa, this time for the right of first refusal.
Within the contract made with Mr. Benincasa, that we could ask for the right to buy those parking spaces back if indeed Mr. Benincasa sells them to another party.
Benincasa feels the right of first refusal for the parking lot is more realistic, but still not a viable option for him to move forward.
Any businessman, he would never take that into consideration, because you're talking about a $80,000, $83,000 piece of property compared maybe to a $4 million project, and they will hold me hostage. I strongly believe that he's going to go through. Once some of those city council, maybe they see the light of it.
City Council members have differing views on what to do next, but must come together because by law they need a supermajority, the equivalent of 5 positive votes, to sell the parking lot. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Tyler Tokarczyk.
City Council member Chuck Smith shares his thoughts on the R.E. Lee building incentive plan and much more. Stay tuned for the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report after the show.
The General Assembly passed a new state budget last month. Buena Vista City officials say they don't expect big changes in state funding, but reported fewer cuts to schools and other programs. The city expects to make its own budget in May, but has not decided if it will make its $400,000 debt payment on the Vista Links Golf Course, which has put the city $9 million in debt. If the $400,000 is not paid by July, the city could lose the golf course, city hall, and the police station, which it offered as collateral.
The Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors last week selected a Northern Virginia firm to build the data center for a $10 million broadband project. The board also decided the name of the center after the late Rick Peterson. Peterson was the Chief Technology Director at W&L and was instrumental in bringing the broadband project to life. Lead Technologies will design the multi-million-dollar Richard A. Peterson Center. The building will house a Washington and Lee campus computing services and the Rockbridge Area Network Authority's network management services. The facility is part of the broadband project that will bring high-speed internet service to the region. When we come back, the suspect of a violent crime in Rockbridge County has been brought back to face charges.
But first, find out why and where 9 new jobs may be coming to the area. All this and more after the break.
I wouldn't have been at this ceremony if I hadn't been at this ceremony first. Unfortunately, nearly 30% of U.S. high school students aren't making it to graduation, and every one of us, every parent, every friend, and neighbor, has the responsibility to provide the support and encouragement they need to make it through, because we all need to see a lot more of these pictures.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles.
Everybody bring it in.
I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out.
How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork?
I help keep kids in school.
Good.
And that's the name of the game.
My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go. L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
City Council voted to consolidate the Lexington Fire Department and life-saving crew at its last meeting. Lexington Fire Chief Ty Dickerson now wants the city to hire a staff of 9 people to assist the volunteers.
Dickerson says having a full-time cross-trained staff will provide better service to the community, assist the efforts of the volunteers, and improve the work environment between the 2 units. Members of the life-saving crew expressed concerns over consolidation with the fire department last month because they felt bullied. Dickerson hopes the consolidation and cross-trained staff will bring unity to the merged group.
The Rockbridge County Board of Supervisors voted in this week's meeting to continue looking into a trash gasification proposal. The board voted last month to build its own trash transfer station at the current landfill. Board members have mixed feelings about using both options, but some think it will save money in the future. Dates for the transfer station's construction will be decided at an upcoming meeting. The man suspected of shooting into a tent and wounding 1 victim in Arnold's Valley in 2007 faced his preliminary hearing on Tuesday. Kevin Anthony Howard of Toano, Virginia, is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, the use of a firearm during a felony, grand larceny, and malicious assault. Howard had been considered a fugitive for 3 years after shooting and was arrested in Texas in November. He is being held in the Rockbridge Regional Jail without bail.
Virginia's public broadcasting may experience major cuts in the future. The General Assembly voted to cut 10% of the state's public broadcasting funds, but Governor Bob McDonnell wants to reduce funding even more. Virginia's public broadcasting budget is divided into 3 different sections. McDonnell wants to cut the funding for each in half. McDonnell has until the end of the month to make revisions to the budget. Such a significant loss of funding will cause public radio and television stations to have to raise more money from private sources and cut programming. Stay tuned for the on-record portion of the Rockbridge Report where we meet Rockbridge Area Dance League instructor Kelly Harris, who talks about staying active at all ages.
But first, find out how area high schoolers experience new countries and cultures without leaving Rockbridge County.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
It's close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Es un gran día para los deportes. Vaya festín de jugadas que tenemos.
Mucha acción, David, por eso nos vamos directamente a la pelota. Es el duelo padre-hijo en el jardín. Batazo al jardín derecho, no. Y se cayó.
Se cayó, pero bueno, ahí va.
Nos vamos ahora al básquet, 2 contra 1.
Y la clava. Solita, la clavó.
Y ahora el fútbol. Ahí está papá, que la pase.
Solo.
Lo va a definir, golazo. Estas son escenas que no se repiten. Las mejores jugadas suceden en casa.
Tómate el tiempo para ser un buen papá.
It's a great day, isn't it? Yeah. Too bad your boat's gonna sink at 11:05.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
Nearly 100 students from southwestern Virginia came together for the fifth annual Rockbridge Model United Nations.
Rockbridge reporter Kirsten Kine has more on how these students formed resolutions they feel the real United Nations should be debating.
Through Model UN, we can don the hats of diplomats from around the world.
Washington and Lee University, Virginia Military Institute, and Rockbridge County Schools joined forces last week in an effort to have high school students participate in the 5th annual Rockbridge Model United Nations. The event brought together students from 5 high schools. Students were assigned to represent countries within the United Nations and were placed on a committee to discuss specific topics.
I just find it really interesting how these different cultures interact on an international scale.
Students discussed topics such as human trafficking, state-sponsored terrorism, and the growing global population. They prepared for months preceding the conference to become experts on their countries and topics.
The challenge of working around what other nations are trying to accomplish, and at the same time accomplishing your own country's goals, as well as the committee's goal as a whole, is just a fun experience in general.
After 2 days of formal debate and 2 unannounced crises, the student delegates formed resolutions within their committees.
We got a pretty efficient resolution in, so if we could only apply that to the real United Nations, we could solve the growing population problem.
Some encourage others to get involved if they have an interest in debating world issues with their peers.
And it works with public speaking, which is, I think, a crucial characteristic that everyone needs to have.
36 students and 8 university faculty from WNL and VMI helped the Rockbridge County Schools faculty run the event.
It's a real partnership between town and gown, and we greatly appreciate that.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Kirsten Kine.
The high schools involved include James River, Perry McClure, Roanoke Catholic, Rockbridge County, and Stewart's Draft. Grants from the Rockbridge Community Foundation and the Rockbridge County Public Schools Foundation provide the funds needed to run the event.
Rockbridge County has been experiencing heavy rain over the past 2 days. The Maury River is running at high levels from the excess rainfall. The area can expect more showers into tomorrow, so look out for flooding.
There is a 70% chance of more rain with a low temperature of 37 degrees tonight. Plan to stay bundled up tomorrow. Snow showers are expected in the morning. The mercury will climb to 47 and tomorrow's low will be a very chilly 33 degrees. The weekend promises to be warmer with sunny skies and a high of 61 on Saturday. The overnight low will dip to 40. The sun will peak out on Sunday with a high of 54 and a low of 34. Monday starts the week with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 52. The chances of rain will increase into the night with a low of 36. And remember your raincoats on Tuesday. Showers are expected throughout the day with a high of 49 and a low of 38.
Coming up, a local community college hosts a delicious competition.
Find out why area students are cooking up a storm. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
The hurricane has passed, but the recovery won't be complete until all the water has receded. If you're having trouble coping, trained and caring help is waiting.
Ah, it's a great day, isn't it? Yeah. Too bad your boat's gonna sink at 11:05.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaA1c.org.
Dabney S. Lancaster Community College recently hosted a Young Chef Challenge at its Rockbridge Regional Center.
The 70 high school students came from Jackson River Technical Center, Bath County High School, Valley Vocational Technical Center, and Massanutten Technical Center. The Rockbridge reporter Kelsey McCraw has more on how these students prepared dishes that reflect the cultures of their home regions.
At the center, the young chefs race against the clock to get their food cooked, plated, and served to the judges. These budding culinary artists are eager to impress representatives from the Culinary Institute of America and executive chefs from the Homestead Resort.
They did a great job, enthusiastic about it, bringing something from their little towns.
The students from Massanutten Technical Center went home with the grand prize and brand new chef's jackets. But there's more to the event than just winning.
In addition to the Homestead, there are other employers here today. There are a number of culinary schools here. So it is something to introduce these students to a lot of different avenues that they might take.
CIA alums, local professional chefs, and Homestead chefs offered advice to the young hopefuls about entering the culinary field. Chef David Ivy Soto, the National Secretary of the American Culinary Federation, even demonstrated some of his own skills. His presence highlighted the ACF's recent accreditation of Dabney Lancaster's culinary program.
Currently, 60 students fill the culinary program. Those who complete the program earn an associate's degree of applied science. The ACF has only accredited 5 other culinary programs in Virginia.
They don't accredit very many programs, so that puts us among the elite.
And the ACF has not been the only one to notice the local program's excellence. The Homestead has a long-standing partnership with the college to support its professional development programs.
It shows that they have an interest in the local talent, into growing the abilities of the local students.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Kelsey McCraw.
Well, that's all we have for you today. I'm Caroline Helms.
And I'm Victoria Taylor. Make sure to stay tuned for our 2 in-studio interviews with Lexington City Council member Chuck Smith and Rockbridge Area Dance League instructor Kelly Harris.
And be sure to check us out online at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Good night.